Good evening, everyone. My name is Janani Jayaraman. Welcome all to today's session on IT recruitment and placements by our guest speaker. This is our agenda for today's session. The main goal of this event is going to be the speakers talk about IT recruitment and placements. So as for us today, it's going to be a small introduction about SGA and then the speaker introduction and today's topic, and followed by a question and answer session and then the closing. What is SGA? So what is the main goal of this career hub? So the main goal of the career hub is to gain career advices from the speaker, hear speaker experiences, network with friends, classmates, Zoom event in the form of Zoom event, or maybe in the future in the Google Meet. So what is SGA? A lot of people will have an doubt about what exactly is SGA. So SGA is nothing but Student Government Association. So we are a group of people. We have a motto like of the students, by the students, and for the students. We promote student participation through events, various events, and then a solution to various issues, positive development of individual, vision for our current and prospective students. So now let's see a quick introduction about our guest speaker, Afshan Muneer. So Afshan Muneer is, she has around 16 years of experience in business process management, research and development, staffing services, IT placements, mentoring, marketing, and advertisement, business setups both in leading clients like Apple, Google, Symantec, etc., to job seekers. She served Tata Consulting and Services, Tata Excellence Business Services, Virgin Mobile, Canvas, Strategem, Symantec, Google, etc., to her own company now, SolutionsSync, which is also breaking records in Silicon Valley. With years of experience, she has realized that there is nothing fulfilling like paying back to her community with the best of knowledge and information in helping to sort out best career choices and expedites to job searches. She works on end-to-end receiving and giving knowledge transferred to job seekers and hiring manager in marketplace, and understands the gap between the job offered and what skill set are offered to those who needs that job. In that note, I would like to welcome today's speaker, Afshan. I'm stopping the screen sharing now. You can share the screen now. Welcome, Afshan.
Thank you so much for the warm welcome. And hi, I can see you now.
Yeah,
So
hello.
thank you for the warm welcome. It's always a pleasure connecting with ITU and brings back the memories of when I was pursuing my MBA. And, I owe a large part of my success to ITU education system. And today it's a great opportunity to talk to all of you here, loving the audience, loving the energy of the host. And let's see what we can do together. I'll try sharing the screen. I usually like to keep it audience driven and more to go with the flow of the current mass curiosity, and I'd like to feed into the needs and ideas of current audience that I'm addressing, but then doesn't hurt to put a presentation in the back. So okay, host disable attendee screen sharing. Maybe you'll have to give me rights to share the screen. Okay.
I have given that, I think, yeah.
Okay. So I'm often on a lot of local radio stations and a local, television shows, trying to understand the psyche of a job seeker, psyche of uh, job hunting process, because it's very different from what we do in our day-to-day education system. So I think we'll get started with the job hunting process, because often job hunting process is misunderstood and miscalculated. The primary aim of graduating students, either they have graduated or they are in the process of graduating, is to land on a job. But usually finding and hunting and sorting down a suitable job requisition that matches our expertise and the background that we are into right now is a big challenge. It's a big challenge. I mean, let's face it, let's just, understand the market that we are addressing is ocean. It's ocean. It's, it's as deep as you get in. So therefore, let's try to throw some light on how to expedite this process. And also, with growing confusion in technologies, I know ITU, International Technology University, produces maximum IT skill set and IT expertise in society. I have been an MBA in IT myself. That was my second MBA. I did my first MBA in human resources and personality development. So I understand that most of our production is into IT mindsets. So with growing technologies, we have artificial intelligence, we have machine learning, we have things that we have never heard of or dreamt of. And uh, uh, I'm gonna talk about a couple of my clients. These are the people who are working in leading companies like Ernst and Young, in Wells Fargo, in Bank of America. They have spent a tenure in these Fortune 500 companies. They are at program level, they are at director level, they are all A to C level executives. And here they are in market because of COVID. They've lost their jobs, and I will address that part too. That many of us have this myth that maybe COVID is a recession in IT job market, which is not true. It is a boom in IT job market. So I'll come to that, but then for now we'll look at this case study, that these people who have come out of respectable job roles are now hunting in market for their other job roles. And they have worked in companies like Ernst and Young for 10, 11, 12 years. And they have worked on given environment like Jira, Confluence, Agile, a hybrid of Agile and Waterfall. And here they are on bench. They are on bench hunting for jobs for 6, 8, 9, 10 months. What do you think went wrong there? What do you think is the problem? The problem is attitude. The problem is openness and mindfulness. If I were to tell the hiring manager to hire me on skill set that I know, then I will never find a job. It's more about being adaptive to the need of the hour, being adaptive to what the company needs. Many of us will land on a job and realize that we are into a job rotation situation. Job rotation is a very common term, and it often talks about how we get hired for a particular job, but then we get evolved into different other parts at work. Many business analysts that I deliver in banking industry and financial industries do get hired for a business analyst role, but 1 week into the role they call me and they're like, hey Afshan, we are asked to do test cases and test plans. Hey Afshan, we are here trying to kind of wear the hat of a project manager. And I'm like, dude, that's the reality of the world. The real world is very different. It's very different from what you and me study in the universities. And that's one of the reason our degree is not a direct feeding to our paychecks. It's not. It does bring our foundation strong. It does help us be the responsible citizens of any society, of any given society. But then when it comes to a job securing process, then it's more about what skill set can you offer, what smart skills do you have, how much do you mentally train yourself to be open and open and open to learn pick up, dive your head into things that you may say that I've never heard of. But who are we kidding? We are in the era of Google and YouTube. Everything is just a click away, a tip away, So you have to educate yourself. And you know what? I'm going to tell you something very interesting. I witness a lot of interviews day in and out. I witness interviews from companies like Optum, companies like Kaiser Permanente, Sutter Health, and Sony Entertainment. And these are all leading financials, banking, healthcare, media clients that are hiring us, middle level business analysts, project managers, and quality analysts day in and out. Can you believe it? In most of the interviews, they will only check your behavioral aspect of the personality. So they want to know how comfortable you are with conflict management. They want to know how do you deal with a difficult stakeholder. They want to know the onshore and offshore. management process, because we have teams scattered across the globe. How do you channelize the communication and make it easy for people to communicate? So these are the things they ask you in an interview, because it's a versatile industry. Who are we kidding? There are project managers and business analysts coming out of projects after 5, 6, 7 years and applying for jobs where they have never even heard of things that they see in a job description. So the hiring manager understands that as well, because you're not never going to get a manpower that matches exactly the skill set. So that is that's a broad picture. That's a broad picture in a nutshell. And I definitely, in my companies, I represent SolutionsSync, I represent SyncITlearning, and I represent Canvas Infotech. And all the companies, I work hard in my WBS, which is work breakdown structure, and we work very closely with recruitment, marketing, and placement services. We coordinate between the hiring manager and the job seeker. We talk to the hiring companies and try to fill the gaps. It can be the Scrum certification, it can be the project management certification. So in a nutshell, you can always contact these companies to understand the clear career plan, because all of us will have a different career plan. So when you sit down for a one-on-one consultation, then you'll understand the career plan for each one of us is very, very different. So that's about the job market that we're looking at. So one very important burning question that most of the job seekers these days have is, hey, Afshan, um, I just learned about Selenium. Okay, before I go to the next case study, let me classify the job seekers that we're looking at today. There are two types of job seekers. First one are those who are coming to me with experience. It can be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years or anything plus or minus. Second are those who have never worked in life, or even if they do, it wasn't related to IT. So these are the two set of job seekers on a broader level that we are trying to look into. So, both of them, can you believe it? Both of them are put through the same machinery, experienced or non-experienced. You go through the same training process, which is brush up training. You go through the same resume writing skills. See, how you say things makes a lot of difference. If I were to cook the best dish for my friend visiting me, and if I were to serve it to you in a broken bowl, it just takes away from the excitement, as opposed to serving you in a beautiful glass bowl and presenting you in a nice dining table. And those skill sets are equally important. Soft skills are equally important. And that's what we excel at. I'm looking at a day where one of the universities will announce soft skills to be one of the scientific needs of the society. So far, we didn't do it. It's cherry on the cake, but I would love to be on the board of research and development to make soft skills as a mandate science for everyone to learn. Anyways, coming back. So, these job seekers, they're like, hey, Afshan, I just learned Selenium, or I worked on Selenium. And 3 days into the system, they're asking me about cucumber. I'm going to jump off the mountain. I'm going to take a pillow and yell. And I know, I know. So that's why, going back to the point that we initiated, openness and mindfulness. And the audience today would want to note it down. You want to note it down. Of course, most of us did hear about it. It's very common in yogasan, and it's very common in a lot of agile coaching, openness and mindfulness. But we often mistake to know it, whereas we don't, unless we take initiative to sit down and read about it and hear about it. So I want the audience today to write down two important things that will help them in any point in their life. That is mindfulness and openness. So yes, the client is asking cucumber. You have read Selenium. Yes, the client is asking cucumber, and you have worked on Selenium. Are you going to say no? Are you going to wait for Selenium jobs to open? No, you will not. It's a huge disservice to yourself and your career and your paycheck. And I also know that most of my OPT friends sitting here today need to be on a continuous payroll, because they have an employer letter in pipeline, they have this next STEM extension in pipeline, and they need to be on jobs. And how do you get to the heartbeat of the hiring manager? You say yes. You say yes. In fact, I go so stupid sometimes, and I tell my job seekers often in my orientations. I'm like, if clients ask you, "Hey, are you a doctor? Can you operate somebody?" Say yes, because I just want to train them to say yes. Of course, it's an exaggerated version. Nobody will ask that, and nobody will say that. But that's the attitude I want. Clients fall for your openness, they fall for your mindfulness. How aware are you about the given environment at work? You will never ever say, I have a particular degree, I have a particular training, a given skill set, and I will only service this. It will never work. The first etiquette to surviving a job is openness and mindfulness, and to pick up and deliver, pick up and deliver. And yes, you can. Yes, you can. If I can cook palak paneer, I can cook matar aloo. There's no big difference. This is a very, very important skill set, and it's often underrated. It's often underrated. In fact, I'm an ex-ITU, and I meet so many ITU friends and students for career counseling, and they come to me for job-oriented skill set to enhance their knowledge and brush up classes and resume writing skills. And they're always disputing with me. They're like, "Hey, Afshan, I've been an agile coach all my life." And I'm like, okay, but you have to be open for an agile business analyst. You have to be open for a scrum master role. You have to be open for a product owner role. It's all about job rotation. It's all about your end to end ability to deliver. It's a disservice to yourself. It's a disservice to dependents that you have in your family. Come on, who are we kidding? We all do. We are here on student loans. We have families back in India. So try to understand what it takes for you to be in this glamorous IT industry. And you'll be surprised. There are 40,000 job openings every day for only 20,000 job applicants. We still have a surplus in employment and deficit in job applications. Wow, who are we kidding? Even with the last government issues, of course, there were like so many things going on in the market when he took the charge, and he was like, many of us were under the impression he didn't like H1Bs, and students were so scared, and we lived that. Even those days, in IT, only in IT, the jobs were more, the applicants were less. What's wrong with us? What do you think is wrong with us? Why do you think we were not able to fill the surplus, the deficit with a surplus? It's all because we kept telling ourselves, I know a certain dish and I can only cook that. I'll give you a very quick example. PeopleSoft HCM, it's an HR tool, and it's as fancy as these terms sound. PeopleSoft HCM and Salesforce and BRD, bunch of things that can be picked like that. I worked all my life on techno-functional things, but when I went in semantic, I was asked to do macros, and connect an Excel spreadsheet with a PPT. I gave it one day, and second day I learned it. I never said, no, I didn't do it. I have been a young achiever in TCS. I've been recognized as one of the leaders and managers throughout my life at a very young age because of my personality, voice. I don't know. They kind of put me in leadership roles. But when time came, I did everything possible. Everything possible. I'm like, you want me to be a clerk? I'll be a clerk. I don't believe in that. Work is worship, as simple as that. So attitude is the key. And that is why I tell job seekers, experienced or non-experienced, it can be anybody, your willingness to read the job description, every job description that you apply to, read it 5 times, say, yes, I can do it. Open a Google tab on the site, and try to Google, underline the buzzwords in the job description, Google the buzzwords in the job description. If a job description says Salesforce, don't delete the job description. Don't get scared. Go to Google, take an initiative to read about the application. End of the day, we all interface with applications day in and out. Have you thought how crazily we are IT? We are already IT. I go to Safeway these days, and I do POS, point of sale, by self checkout. It's IT. I go to Instagram, I add all these filters, I make funny faces, I get a lot of likes. It's IT, right? And so many mobile applications I use to make payments. I use mobile banking, I use digital wallet system, because now I don't have to carry cash in my wallet. So all of this is banking, all of this is IT. Why do you think you can't do it? Your comfort level with any given application is going to determine your career in IT. And you are already comfortable. So stop telling yourself, I have these anxieties, I'm a non-IT person, I can't do it. I mean, this is for the second type of audience that I classified, the non-experienced audience. So again, coming back to my source point, your mindfulness and your awareness. So I'm going to stop now to see if you have any inputs or questions for me. I know I had straight 40 minutes to talk, but I don't mind taking any questions or concerns. She's not audible.
Yeah, hi, my name is Bhupinder.
Hi, Bhupinder.
Yeah, I have a question regarding the thing you said, like people who you refer as business analyst, and they call you back in some time, like they are expected to perform a role of a product manager, right? Because I'm pursuing MBA in business analytics.
Okay.
My question is, like, if we do end up in such a scenario, what's what is the thing that can help us, like if we are expected to perform multiple roles and we do not have the experience, what can help us in that time?
Okay. Bhupinder, can I get your last name?
Yeah, Bhupinder Kaur.
Bhupinder Kaur. Okay, all right. Congratulations on the MBA program in business analytics.
Thank you.
I congratulated you also because you have you've made the right choice, because now you have a hold on the SDLC, the techno-functional software development life cycle. So your understanding about requirements gathering, coordinating with stakeholders, deployment, development, testing, delivery, release management is all up to date. So you are going to be as good as to serve any of these roles. Now, coming to the question that you ask. So, Bipin, the first thing you said, if this happens, what should I do? So, I want to correct you, my friend. It will happen all the time. all
Okay.
the all the time. I mean, just imagine, right? I mean, I get on an average 200 business analyst openings per day. Like I said, I run this consulting solution sync, and I get 200 business analyst open positions across US every day. And some of them, sorry about that, some of them are very decent enough in asking you to work on project charter, on a business requirements document, make a table of content, do the revision of the document and upload the division and inform the stakeholders. Wow, what an ideal life, sounds like music. But rest of the other roles, rest of the, let's say out of 200, if 10 roles are decent enough to ask you to do what the role is supposed to ask you to do, then the rest of the 190 roles will be asking you to do techno-functional execution. Some of them will have a title business analyst, and beneath that they'll say, okay, admin access to SharePoint, and they're expecting you to add a particular feature in SharePoint. So this is the market that I look at day in and out, and I have close to 27 teams working on recruitment and placement and training services day in and out. So at work, this will always happen. Uh, your soft skills, your ability to manage the situation, to handle the situation is the key. First thing, do not panic. Second thing, smile and breathe. Third, ask for a deadline, ask for an extension. We are talking about corporate America. If you're given a job execution, if you're given a work order by your superiors or your reporting manager, then you're not expected to deliver it right then and there. That's not what is expected. They give you a deadline. In fact, corporate America is so cool. They give you, especially in state projects, in government projects, for a small update, they give you 2 weeks to kind of, get the small update go live. It's just a one line update that goes in a document. So some of my friends are working in state client, and I look at them, they have this easy life. So you buy time, and you take down as many notes as you can. Your ability to minute everything that's happening around, to document that's happening around, will help you excel every deliverable. But of course, make sure that you ask relevant consent from stakeholders before you write down anything that they're saying. But buy time, that's the first thing. The second thing, uh, we see my consulting SolutionsSync. Why do you think I'm a 3-year-old company and I'm able to survive against 20, 30, 40-year-old entities in Bay Area? It's because of the OJT, on the job support. I understand the dynamics of this versatile industry. This industry has never asked a particular skill set to service what they excel in. They never do it. I understand that. And that's one of the reason I'm able to offer this army of mentors, army of coaches who will come with you on the job to help you deliver the task. So you take help. And in fact, a lot of times you can also ask your reporting manager to help you shadow the old repository system. Every company will have its own repository system. You need to have access to the old documents to read into it. Many of the Fortune 500 companies hiring in Silicon Valley and across United States have a very rich heritage, and a very rich heritage, sorry about that. And also they have this internal database of documents that will do the job. So first thing, you'll buy time, listen to everything, document everything, ask for on the job support. If you're with me, I'll get that for you. I'll get that for you from day one. I'm such a trouble to my job seekers, and sometimes they're like, Afshan, get off our back, we know what to do. I'm like, no, you need a mentor. You need a mentor. And the fourth thing you'll do is you will access the repository system, but you will deliver. You will deliver. 99.999% cases, you will deliver. I'll give you a quick live example. I placed a business analyst in one of the Fortune 500 companies. See, you are an MBA and BA. You know the job that a BA is expected to do. Work on project charters, make a problem statement, work on BRD, business requirement document, work on functional specification document, coordinate with stakeholders, act as a liaison between developers and QA, quality analyst. You know that. But my business analyst in one of the Fortune 500 companies were expected to write down test cases and test plans. I don't know if it is derived from user stories. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I've been so much with business teams, I forgot about business analysis. So my business analyst that I delivered were asked to do test cases and test plans. What do you think they must have done, in your opinion? Take a shot. Tell me. Or rather, what would you want them to do? So, of course, they asked the company for the template. You'll always have the template in the repository system. And they read the old documents. They took on the job support. They watched YouTube videos. Within 2 days, they delivered top-notch test cases and test plans. And they received an appreciation from the reporting manager. And these are business analysts. The reporting manager gave them an appreciation and also told them, I'm going to refer you for a full-time opportunity after the contract position, which is not good news for me, but it's okay. I'm customer driven. So I like when my students, my job seekers, they get a full-time job. It's fine. That's the ultimate goal. So it is always going to happen. It's a very different world than what we learn in our MBA classes. It's always very exciting, but in real world, you can be asked to do anything and everything under the umbrella of SDLC, software development lifecycle. You lose the game the day you say, it's not my skill set and I won't do it. Unless it's, and even if you have to do that, you attempt, you try, you implement, and then, worst come worst case, we'll try to say that, hey, you know what, I need help. Maybe this deliverable was not my skill set, but that's very rare, very rare. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for the question, Vipinder. So loving the energy of the audience today. What other questions do I have? Anyone want to know about their career chances, the career plan? Also, I'm going to leave my name and information in the chat box for you to add me in your LinkedIn or contact my companies. The mainstream is SolutionsSync. So, okay, since we are a little relaxed on the Q&A part, I'll move to my other segment of Gyan that I have for you. So in my company, we usually try to have this culture of mock interviews. In fact, I was working for one of the leading names in Bay Area, Alok Bhatia. Many of us in ITU know about him. And I worked in Canvas Infotech with him. And even today, I represent Canvas Infotech as one of the C-level stakeholders. And I picked up this culture from him, mock interviews. So I hate plagiarism, so I always give proper credit. Like, proper credits. I got it from him, so it goes to him. So in mock interviews, this is what we do. As we all understand, we've been talking enough about the versatile nature of work and the versatile nature of the industry. It's dynamic, and every job is different from the other. I mean, imagine. I'll use an example. Imagine KYC. KYC stands for know your customer process. It's used heavily in banking industry. KYC and there's AML, anti-money laundering, and know your customer. These processes are heavily used in banking industries. But can you believe it? Wells Fargo uses a completely different application than what Bank of America is using. Um, of course, when I say two different applications, what is the most that can differ? The look and feel of the application, the start and end buttons of an application, and how difficult can that be for us to learn and understand? I see many job seekers fall apart for these common sense issues. These are common sense issues. So I don't want you guys to do that to yourself. I don't want that. I want you to say, yes, I can do it. I want you to spend time, Google and YouTube, and contact me if you're with me. And I'm hoping most of you will be for on the job support, because I sign up many leading mentors in the market just to help the job seekers. And my specialty is to help people not just get the job, but how to survive in the job and make that $8,000, $5,000 every month. So in process of doing so, we have a mock interview process in our company. So every time a job seeker, let's assume if Bhupinder is going for an interview in Kaiser Permanente, she secured a business system analyst interview in Kaiser Permanente, then Bhupinder will have to sit down with multiple set of coaches in the organization, and each coach will give her the prep hour to make sure she is flawless when she meets the hiring managers. And again, the hiring process in IT is never too specific and too technical. It just reads into your attitude, your mindfulness, your openness to life, your ability, and just happiness. How happy are you? Excited are you to get into the company and be that positive energy on the floor? These things are very important, especially for a business analyst on a project manager job role. So these mock interviews, I've got great recognition for this, and this is one of the reason my company SolutionsSync continuously reported less attrition in Bay Area. In last 3 years, we have reported very less attrition. I think most of the MBA students would know what attrition stands for. So anybody who would like to unmute and help the other audience understand what is attrition, what do I mean by attrition? Anyone? Come on, guys, you could unmute and say something. Unless you all are sleeping. Okay, I see a light blinking, but I'm not sure if it's a technical error. Anyways, I'll let the host fix it. I'll just go ahead and tell you. Attrition is basically a trite rate of people getting fired. So if I have delivered 10 headcount of manpower into the Wells Fargo workforce. If I've delivered a headcount of 10 manpower deployed for, workforce of Wells Fargo, and out of 10, if 8 people are let go, then that is attrition rate, and it's not good. It's really not good. So I have a very low attrition rate, and one of the reasons I do is because um, one of the reasons I do is because of the on-the-job support. Uh, you know, and sometimes I've also observed people need on the job support as a shoulder, as an emotional shoulder. They just want to talk about this new change in their life where they get up 9 o'clock in the morning, they're at these Fortune 500 premises. And I want to tell you, I mean, Silicon Valley companies like Salesforce, like the 13th Street, Wells Fargo, and I've been to all these places. They're beautiful. They're beautiful. And it's just like you're in a different world. It's very corporate, it's very professional. You get to explore your professional side, and it's beautiful. And they just want to talk to somebody to share their experience and overcome their anxiety, and to believe in themselves that yes, I can deliver. It's magical. Uh, the more you tell yourself that you can deliver, is the more powerful you are. So that's why we have this mock interviews process. And it has, like I said, the outcome of this process was very less attrition. And in fact, on the job support is also one of the retention acts that helped me retain more and more job seekers. Okay, let's see if we can throw light on more important. Yes, we are very good with, we understand that most of the OPT audience is looking for their employer verifications, employer letter. I'm an e-verified employer in Bay Area, and I've been doing this for 16 years now. And I have a good standing in H-1B services. And Many ITU and NPU and San Jose students have done their H-1B through me. So feel free to contact my company for further information, and bring referrals. I do have good referral programs. You bring your friends, you bring your family, and you can get more and more from the system. So usually, going back to the initial topic, to the initial plan of where we started from, like I said, the two set of audience, the first one are those who have experience, and the second are those who do not have experience. But both of them are put through the same machinery or the same system of classes. The classes that we offer are specially designed to help you pick up from different parts of the industry. You want to be an octopus. You want to be an octopus. You want to know about agile, about waterfall, about the hybrid agile and waterfall. You need to know what is what from end to end, even if you're not excelling it. In fact, as a business analyst and a project manager, as an SDLC person, you're not even expected to excel it. So these classes are specially designed to brush up your brain in such a way that you are able to tackle the versatility issues. It's hard to deal with, right? I mean, it's so like, I'm going to go back to the example of being an octopus. uh, it's just scattered. The AY, the know your customer and the anti-money laundering process. I mean, think about it. It's the same process, but Bank of America is using a completely different system, and Wells Fargo is using completely different. And Bank of America is always interviewing people on these processes. Again, I'm just want to add a disclaimer that the names that I'm using, Bank of America and Wells Fargo, are only for example. I do not intend to disclose any information of these clients. It's just I'm using them as an example. Okay, so how to encounter that? And again, it is scientific. It's not as easy as it sounds. I'm sure when you hear me talk, most of you will have this bulb on the head, the light on the head, that, oh, I know what she's talking about. But trust me, most of us don't. I myself don't. I'm still trying to kind of enlighten myself with more and more openness, and dive deep into what more I can deliver to this beautiful country, America, and our non-immigrant brothers and sisters, and even immigrants. So it's not as easy as it sounds. I wish you all the best, and I really want you to explore those lines. Okay, so of course, our payroll services. I've always had a reward and recognition in running clean and smooth payroll, in making sure your needs are met at the right time. And the credit goes to the major investors and stakeholders of SolutionsSync. So you will never have any issues on those lines. So I think we're pretty much done with the time for me to present you important updates about Career Hub, and hope it was useful. So now we're going to switch to the Q&A. Is that correct, Janine? Did I say that right? Janani.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right, Afshan. So yeah, let's open the floor for the Q&A session now for the students.
Okay.
Yeah, I could see still 4 participants in here.
Mhm.
Do any one of you have any questions? Oh, before we move on to question and answer session, Afshan, that was a brilliant session. Thank you so much for that. It was very insightful, at least for me. I personally learned a lot of things. Thank you so much for that. So would
Most
you mind
welcome.
adding some more points? Like, I think students are still trying to prepare their questions. So is that
Sure.
okay for you to still share some of your knowledge with us?
Yeah, sure. I can. I understand. Uh, you know, it's always confusing. We do not know where to stop and ask a question, because our mind is processing so much information, and especially coming from an MBA university. Our university is mostly into master's program, so most of us have this anxiety, including me. I had it for a long time. I'm like, I'm masters twice. Come on, I did an MBA in India and now here, and yet I don't have a job. What's wrong? What's wrong? Because education is different from the job oriented skill set that hiring managers ask for. It's a totally different game. Totally different game. I'll tell you what. One of the hiring managers from a leading company, I'm not going to take his name, but I think he would know when he watches this this interview. This person always interviews my job seekers on a treadmill. On a treadmill. There was one, and he is offering a 65 an hour job to the job seekers. And there was one time he asked my job seeker, can you tell me how do you fry an egg in a pan? I was like, oh my god, really? So all he wanted to know is the timing, the communication, the ability to explain, so all sort of things can happen when you hit the floor. And when you market yourself, you're on Indeed, you're on Dice, or you're through an employer like me. Of course, most of the OPTs and H1s would need an employer like me. So when you're with me, you will realize that putting yourself on marketing floor and applying for jobs on daily basis, reading job description every hour, every 15 minutes, is a very different training session for you. Very different training session for you. It makes up your mind on what you can expect from different companies. It's a practical learning forum for you. Practical learning forum for you. If you have gone through the process of marketing yourself and doing the D2D technique, which is door to door marketing technique, I call it. You knock the doors of different hiring managers. Of course, my account managers and business development managers will do it for you. That's exactly when you discover a new you. It's a new you. Oh my god, this hiring manager expects me to do a certain thing. It's a new you. And you say yes to anything and everything. And of course, for most of the business analysts and project managers, we don't send them for coding roles, of course, right? I mean, we know where we are sending you. We're not going to send you for a role where we know you can't do it. So that is why I'm very confident in telling you, say yes for all the roles that's coming your way. So it's a very different world that we're looking at. And let's see what else I can cover for my audience today. Okay, those were the notes I prepared, a little running notes, but we can take it here. Yeah. Yeah. So career counseling and interview preparation, onboarding is exactly the skill set or the responsibilities that are handled by SolutionsSync. And today we have gathered to talk about SolutionsSync. So career counseling will differ from person to person. It differs from person to person, especially when you have to apply for your H1B, right? So if Janani, did I say that correct? Okay, Janani. Okay, you have such a beautiful smile, sweetie. God bless. So when she comes to me for career counseling, and then I have to look into the number of subjects and the majors she have taken while she did her MBA, and then accordingly try to fit her into the account, into the marketing phase, because that goes on her H1B application, and it is very strict. You have to make sure that your education matches the skill set you're offering when you ask this country for a 40 hours LCA, wages, right? It's a labor visa, it's a 40 hours labor visa in a good way. So we take care of those things. That's exactly where you need experts like SolutionsSync. And I think a large part of my audience, more than 70, 80, 90% of my audience have been OPTs, I mean. And these are the people who, can you believe it, these are the people who drive my company, because they won't let my marketing managers sleep, they won't let my recruiters sleep. Some of them are calling 10 in the night. Oh my god, you know what, it's been 4 months, I got my OPT, I have to be in the payroll. And I love them. Marketing managers hate and love me at the same time, because but these are the people who keep my manpower on toes. I'm like, oh, okay, everybody is slow, people are feeling sleepy, well, let me get 10 OPT students, they're just gonna go to work themselves, I don't have to do anything, so they are really a preferred set of audience for me. Of course I have set of green cards and citizens, but, and in fact OPTs are the one, OPTs and CPTs. And CPT, we are very careful, because we always check the university rules. If they are allowed to work anywhere outside the 200 radius, then I take them. But if they're not allowed, then we tell them to come back after they get their OPTs, because in OPT, you're allowed to travel anywhere. And that's also one key, guys. I really want all the job seekers here. I see few other people have joined. Welcome, guys. So you have to be open for nationwide. All OPTs, do not do this disservice to yourself. The first break in IT is everything for you. It's everything for you. And this is for the set of people who have never worked in IT. The first break is everything for you. You are learning JAT sessions. You're learning, JAT stands for Joint Application Development Sessions. You're learning the template of MOM, which is minutes of the meeting. You're learning what do you do as a scribe. Scribe is the one who writes the minute of the meeting. You're learning the weekly and monthly presentations. You're learning things that are worth thousands of dollars, that are worth longevity, that are worth you and your family's food, healthcare, and shelter. So the first break is very important. Don't tell yourself, I need a job in a preferred location. No, you will travel anywhere. Anywhere. In fact, these days, it's really, really good if you hit the job market, because most of the IT projects are remote. It's remote. So these days I often tell my job seekers, I'm like, guys, if a client asks you, can you do a project in Bermuda Triangle, just say yes. Nobody's asking you to come to Bermuda Triangle. It's going to be work from home. But actually, this brings me to a point that we discussed initially. There's a myth in the market. There's a myth in the market that with COVID, IT jobs are in recession. No, they are not. No, they are not. The IT jobs in given industries have increased. Retail is hiring, healthcare is hiring. Of course, I understand media, entertainment, they're not hiring, but retail and healthcare have gone up. We can expect a lot of hiring in EDI, electronic data interchange, information that is exchanged between different entities for the sake of insurance payer or a transaction cleared. So at technical level, at functional level, you'll be hired, you'll be trained. So IT is definitely booming in retail and healthcare. Pre-COVID, before COVID, the maximum hiring was in the banking industry. It was in banking industry, in digital wallets, in KYC, like I said, and anti-money laundering, and digital production processes, and things like that. But now the retail and healthcare have gone up. The banking is consistent. It's still the same. Of course, people are getting hired because, see, we are lucky. Software deliverables can happen remote at home. That way we are blessed that we are into IT. And I know the university here, we deliver most of the IT experts, right? International Technological University, they deliver IT experts in the market. So that way we are really blessed, because we can actually sit at home and do it. So do not carry that myth in your head. There are openings. You want to contact your local local employers contact me because of my on-the-job support and less attrition issue. So I think Ms. Kaur has raised her hand. Yes, sure. Please unmute and please ask a question.
Yeah, hi, thank you. So I have a question regarding the same thing you said regarding H1B opportunity. How often is it that a person who is on F1 has, chances of being on H1B, a company sponsoring their visa?
Company sponsoring the visa. Well, most of the H1Bs that I have seen are the students, are the OPT and CPT. I mean, that's the route you take, right? I mean, the first things first, you have to secure a project. You should hurry up. It's January, and February, March is the last for the H1B envelope applications to go out. First things first, you need a project. Okay, the application cannot go out without you being on payroll. And then you apply for your H1B. You can start your green card processing along with your H1B. You can start along with your H1B. But I have seen a lot of success rate. And we also need to understand IT is techno-functional, right? Of course, it's not a very functional business development role. It's IT. And the economy needs us. We are the support system for delivering one of the most expensive applications that deliver, heavy funded deliverables across the globe. So we are an important part of this economy, though we constitute to what 2.5% of the economy, but we are very, very important. So even with all the rumors we had with the last government, I still had tons and tons of H1 approvals every year. And people used to put me so much down. They're like, hey, Afshan, this guy, he hates H1Bs. I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me have faith in my manpower. I know my people are contributing up there. I know my people are one of the important pillars of the company. So I will apply their H1, and I got them. So you should hurry up, Ms. Kaur. You should, yeah. So I see push. Ms. Kaur, does that answer your question?
Yeah, I have one more question though.
Sure. Pushpa, I'll come to you after I'm done with Ms. Kaur. Yeah, go ahead.
So I applied for F1 visa, and I want to know, because with ITU, there's some restriction with working, and we have to do an internship minimum for 3 credits.
Okay.
Do you help in getting an internship too?
Sure. Yeah. I can career counsel you for getting into internship roles in many companies in San Francisco. But I'm afraid most of the internships may be on hold for now. So is it a part of your CPT curriculum to serve the
Yes.
internship?
Yeah.
Okay. So what you can do is contact me. I'm going to leave my information here. And I can put you through a career counselor to expedite. Of course, I mean, because it's internships, I can't promise anything, but we'll try our level best to counsel you. So you put an attractive pointers together about your personality, about who you are and what you have done in your life. Writing skills are everything. And then you apply out there on Indeed and DICE and LinkedIn for the internship roles in IT. Am I correct? You're looking for IT? Okay, yeah, I think it's, of course, I mean, you should, again, see, this brings me to an important point. You want to cover 50 to 60 roles per day on given job portals. DICE is the father of all job portals. And then you have Career Builder, you have Indeed, you have Monster. You have to cover, it has to be really, really, really hard work. Understand the job description and make a sales pitch. Read the job description, make the sales pitch. Read the job description, make the sales pitch. 50, 60, 70 applications in a day, and repeat this process for 3 months. And no power in the world can stop you from getting your next IT job, which will pay you $8,000 to $5,000 every month and get you your H1B. Okay. So I'm going to leave you my information so you can get in touch with my team. Okay.
Yeah,
all right. Any more questions from you?
No, thank you.
Okay. So I think Pushpalata, you can ask.
Yeah, hi Afshan, and this is very nice session, getting very useful information from you. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, for me, the question was actually regarding internship, the same one on the previous last year. This is my very first trimester in ITU, and currently I'm on H4. So I'm trying to convert to F1, and I don't know when these all things will get. But I want to know, like, if it get through, what is the good pointers to connect for internships?
Mhm.
Or
Internships, yeah, yeah. So, good question, good question. And I think it is also related to what my other friend, Miss Kaur, was trying to understand. And you are on H4, so you do not have that I-140 approval where you can apply for an EAD. I'm sure you got your H4 through your husband, correct?
yeah, I don't have EADS.
So then you'll have to take that route. You'll have to get an F1, and then you have to apply for your H1, because through F1 you can also finish your education, which is the first priority, and then get CPT and everything. So what is your specialization in masters? Like, I know Ms. Kaur is doing MBA in business
Yeah,
analytics.
currently my specialization is business analytics.
Business analytics, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, see, how do you make a sales pitch in the resume, right? I mean, in internship roles, uh, resume writing is everything. It's everything, you know. You showing your knowledge in end-to-end SDLC process, your willingness to work with developers, your willingness to work with stakeholders, your willingness to take the application development to next level, to work with ad hoc conflicts on the floor. It's very common in software industry. We plan a date of release. Software is a product, right? I mean, I'm developing a product for you guys, and then I know I have to release the product for UAT testing, which is user acceptance testing, by 6th of May, let's assume. And then boom, I have this developer who got into a fight with a tester. They always do it. And then the developer is like, okay, you know what, I'm not going to do any more coding. I'm like, dude, don't do this. Where will I get a developer overnight? You know. And then what, I go to my project manager, and if I'm a project manager, then I go to my director, and then I update, hey, you know what, I have a situation at work and people got into a little conflict. I have to increase the deadline. And then I sit down with the developer, try to solve the issue. So these skills are very important. So what you present and what you write in the resume, of course you can't claim that you have any experience, right? But you will claim that you have the ability to explore and learn through internships. There's one key to securing an internship: do not negotiate for money. Do not negotiate for money. Say yes to anything. Of course, some of the companies give you a minimum pay, but the others may not. It may just be an entry level role. So accept it. And in fact, now, as of now, if they tell you come for $0 and do a project for 3 months, just say yes, because it will be remote and it will be work from home. And that 3 months will change your life. It will change your life, because when you get to see this live discussion of a project manager with the developer somewhere in India, and this project manager is saying, I want this particular feature in this software, and you are responsible for making those updates in the software, you want to enjoy that moment of exposure. That's the enlightenment hour for us, right? So don't put price on that. You say, okay, you know what, I am here to learn. I want to learn. Show me everything in the company. I want to learn. So that is the key to securing an internship and everything. So what you want to do is you want to go on Indeed, Miss Kaur and my other friend Pushpalata, and also I think all the other audience will benefit from this. Go to Indeed and study the business analyst resumes. Just study it. Don't copy or anything. Study and read and see what these experienced business analysts are trying to say. And then pick up those pointers and say ability to do. You're not saying your experience to do, because we will not lie. Remember that. We are saying ability to do, willingness to do, available to do. So it's very clear that I don't have experience, but I know. See, how difficult will it be for me to teach you BRD? If I give you 15 minutes and open a business requirement document on my screen, you will learn it like that. So you are equal to somebody who has 7 years of experience within 1 hour. That's the techno-functional IT industry I'm talking about. So go to Indeed, read as many resumes as you can, and make your pointers and pitch a sale. Okay. And also I've left the information. You can contact my company for the internship roles. We'll counsel you, of course, we'll counsel you, because we don't make money in that. But once you find a job, you have experience, you come back, then we place you for contract roles.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for the answer.
Absolutely, Pushpalata. lovely audience and lovely host. You all have a great evening together and have a happy weekend. Bye bye.
You too, Afshan. Bye.
Bye bye.